Good morning, traders. This is my day trading week in review video. I normally do live trades or live trade recaps. So if you like that sort of thing, hit the like button and hit subscribe, and you can see my videos daily. Monday, the market is closed, so I won't have another live trade recap until Tuesday. But let's talk about this week. Look at this. I mean, this looks like it was a terrible week. There was a lot of red. And I'll say it definitely was not an easy week. It wasn't, one of my easiest or best trading weeks ever. But overall, for the week, I am green. And let's get to the green. Yeah, 685 for the week. I think that matches what Webull says. Yeah, 685. Here, I'll show you that I've selected this week. Sometimes they're off by a cent or two or something for some weird reason, but looks like everything is lining up. So that's all my trades for this week. And just it's interesting to note like how many of them were red versus how many of them were green. I actually didn't count this before I started this video, but here's 5 trades there. 8, another 3 is 11. So out of 11 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4 were green. So only 4 out of 11. So that's a 36% win rate. Yet I'm green on the week, and up over 1% for the week on the account. And that's only because of holding to 2R and trading with a very strict discipline and rules. So that's it. It really, comes down to that, having a strict plan and strategy and following it and sticking to it no matter what. And that's going to be the difference. Now, you do see here, this is my actual weekly P&L, and then I have 2R P&L. That's like a theoretical P&L for holding the 2R on every trade, which I do, and I did that religiously this week and the previous week. But the only reason for this difference is there was some slippage in and out of a couple of trades that was out of my control. So that's why that difference is there. And I even made a note of that here for myself, just so if I look back and see what was going on, was I not following my plan? So there was a lot of slippage. If you go through and watch my live trade recaps for the week, you'll be able to find every single one of those instances, and they're kind of mapped out here as well. You can see whenever there's a big difference between the 2R P&L and the daily P&L, that's an indication of some sort of slippage. If it was because I was breaking my plan or my strategy, I would mark it as a yellow trade, which that's what I've done in the past. You can see yellow trades there and lots of yellow trades there. So this month, I told myself if I have even one yellow trade, that I have to stop trading for the rest of the month. So that's worked out pretty well so far, and it's also kept me in the green so far. And the first week of February started out really easily. My first 2 trades of the month, they both went to 2R. I didn't have to take any more trades and for the rest of the day. And then after that, things just kind of went downhill. And you can see on last Thursday that all 3 of my trades were red. And then I kind of felt like, you know what, I was green on the week, 571, and I knew that even if like maybe 1 or 2 trades, or I knew that if my whole day failed again, like if I had 3 trades fail like on Thursday, that I would wipe out all that green. So I was hesitant to trade on Friday, so I decided not to, because anytime that you feel like I don't know if I should trade or not, you really shouldn't, because if let's say you say, you know what the hell, let me take a trade, I can't make any money unless I trade. Well, what happens if you get another red day where, every trade you took failed, or, you ended up red on the day? You're going to be kicking yourself pretty hard, because you're going to say, look, I told myself that I probably shouldn't trade, and I did, and then I just lost more money. So always try to think of the possible outcomes and before you decide, what you want to do. And this week, I didn't really have that feeling, even though I was only slightly green as of yesterday. But I just kind of felt I didn't have that feeling at all, because I didn't feel like I was going to be giving back, like a whole week's of profit, because I didn't have much profit. And, I believe in this plan, this strategy. And I knew, going into today that either I was going to be red or green, and it was going to possibly make my week red. But I didn't have much to lose this week, because I was only up about $1 before today's trade, which the very first trade I took went to 2R and pretty much made my week. So that's a nice thing, because I actually did better this week because of that trade than I did the previous week, which is right here. So slightly better there. And again, if you look at the amount of, see, this doesn't show you all of the trades that I take, because some of these, like SNDL, I think that's 6 trades altogether on different days. And at one point I was up over $2 on that, and then the next day I took like 2 trades on it, and they were both red and gave that profit back. So this can be a bit deceiving, and that's why it's nice to have the spreadsheet where you can actually see every single trade that I took. So here's like those SNDL trades, for example. You can see that on Wednesday I was green on that, up $2, and then yesterday gave it back on the first 2 trades of the day. So, and then I made it up on the third trade of the day on a different stock. So that's okay. But anyway, that's it. The one thing I want to say too is that, my trading plan, I've stuck to my trading plan. At the beginning of February, it started right here, and it goes all the way to here. And you can download this trading plan from my Facebook page if you become a member of the trading group. And it's just a way for me to share my files easily. That's the whole purpose of it. But I also want to show you one other really, really cool thing is that one of my rules is that I can only take 3 trades per day for this month, and I'll probably just keep that rule because it seems to be working out really well. And notice how the very first trade of the day, it almost always ended in a red trade this week. But then as the trades progress, here, it's again like a 33% win rate, but that's still higher than the first trade, which is this is a 20% win rate. If you just look at that very first trade, 33% win rate. And then here, 67% win rate, because 2 out of 3. And actually, this is almost really 100% win rate, because these 2 trades happen almost simultaneously, this SNDL and JG, so they could have easily been flipped. But basically what the idea is that if you've picked good stocks, meaning they're trending up, they're on the top gainers list, there's volume, if you pick good stocks to trade, and you're taking good patterns, like a safe pattern like the ABCD pattern, then if you get stopped out on your first or even second entry, your third entry is that much more likely to succeed, because sometimes these things, they give you little fake pullbacks, and they just need to give more of a legitimate pullback. So for example, like here on this chart, let's say that the 4 a.m. is right here, that the market opened, and then I wait for the stock to break through its previous session's high, right? So this high was established in the aftermarket. Let's say this is 4 a.m. and the price is going up here. It breaks out through the previous high, and now I'm waiting for a pullback to take an entry. Once it pulls back and then I see a 1-minute candle make a new high, that's my signal to get in. Now this is like an ideal scenario where it just took off, but sometimes what happens is you get that 1-minute candle to make a new high, and then it comes back down and stops you out. Excuse me. And then you get another 1-minute candle to make a new high, and then maybe that one goes off, or you get stopped out on that one. It comes down a little bit more. You get in on the third entry, and then that one finally works out. And at that point, if you're trading 2R, you're either going to be break even, which is good if you just lost 2 trades. You at least made back the money you lost, and you could possibly be green after losing 2 trades and being green on one if the risk to reward ratio, or not so much the ratio, but the amount of risk you took on each trade was maybe slightly different just based on the chart itself. I know that's a lot to explain, but if you watch my live trade videos, recap videos, you'll see that happening on a regular basis. Now, that's not to say that you just continuously enter into the stock until you finally find that entry that takes off. This is what one of the reasons why I have the three trade max rule, is because you don't really know when it's going to turn around. If the third one fails, you really should stop, because at that point, it could be the 4th or 5th one is going to fail, and then finally the 6th one takes off, but now you got to make up for 5 losing trades. That's going to be really tough. So it's really a good idea to stop after the 3rd try. And also, don't even take 3 trades if this. So let's define these points here as this is point A, this is point B, here's point C, that would be point D, and you don't know where that's going to end up. But my criteria is point C cannot come lower than point A. If point C comes lower than point A, even if you haven't taken any trades or you've only taken one trade on it, you cannot enter the stock anymore, because at that point it's shown too much weakness, and it's no longer an ABCD pattern as far as I'm concerned, because if that point C comes below point A, now it's a reversal trade if you try to go long after that. And yes, sometimes those reversals do work out. And I think there was one on SNDL earlier this week that worked out, but I didn't take it because they don't work out often enough. I used to have reversal trades as part of my plan, and I just got burned way too many times on those. They don't work out often enough to take them regularly. So once in a while, you're going to see one work out, and you just have to let it go and don't worry about it. Don't feel FOMO that you missed out on it, because if you take those trades time and time again in the long run, you're going to be red. So anyway, I think that wraps it up for my week in review and this month of February in review. So I hope you guys are trading well and following your plan or your strategy, or at least tightening up your plan or your strategy if you're not doing well. And always take your stop losses and honor your profit targets no matter what. That's the only reason I'm green right now. It's not because of my win rate or anything else. My win rate is not that high, but that's also part of this plan. It's not, if you try to force a high win rate by stopping out early or taking your profit early, then when you get stopped out on a trade, it's going to wipe out like your last 5 green trades. So it's not a good idea to try to go for a high win rate. You should really just try to come up with a plan and a strategy that allows you to withstand losses over time, because the losses are part of day trading. You can't avoid those. I used to try to avoid those, and I was red overall. I had a 13-day green streak at one point, and I was never green for any real length of time, no more than 2 months. I was green for 2 months, and that was it. Then I gave it all back. So right now, for the first time, I am green overall for an entire quarter or a 3-month period. So that's pretty much a milestone for any day trader. I know those numbers aren't impressive, but again, trading a small cash account here, this is not margin. I don't get unlimited day trades. I'm only taking 10% positions on the size of my account, and I started off with around, really at the beginning, $100, and then around $200 in October, and then bumped it up to around $500 somewhere in December, I think. So anyway, that's it for me, and I hope you guys, again, I hope not to repeat myself, that you're doing well out there, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Take care.